And underway here. Delighted to have Keith Andrews alongside. Keith.
And Paul, really looking forward to this. I've already alluded to two of the greats of European football. I think in terms of where they are in pre-season, to see two very different sides. Carlo Ancelotti, just the two changes, a very settled side, really focused on the start of the season. AC Milan, clearly a little bit more work to do.
Not the surest of touches by Alaba, who, as forecast, has started in the back four. So that's a little change today by Ancelotti to have a look at that. That's not the way to start, is it?
He's a very versatile player, isn't he? Probably suffers at times because he never really gets a run in a set position.
So can Milan profit early on here? Freuchtel had to claim it. Wasn't a very powerful downward header by Musacchio. I mentioned the backup on this tour being Tom Starker. We saw him come in actually, Keith, with no Manny Neuer or Sven Ulreich here. The goalkeeper picked out Ribéry. Kessie stuck to his guns, and again Nian working with him. Kessie. Crotone. Kessie goes again. 10 minutes where Milan have dominated, really. Montolivio on the switch. Barini. Rodriguez goes outside him. Bonaventura forced back by Martinez. Musacchio. Zapata. Donnarumma. Weighing up his options. Rodriguez goes again. Nice build-up. And Milan deservedly go in front. Frank Kessie again following in from midfield. And wow, that really lifts everybody here, and all these new supporters of Milan, they like what they're seeing in this game.
It's a really well-worked goal. Kessie, as you've already mentioned, he's been pivotal the opening stages of this game, really taking the game to this Munich team, full of energy, full of industry. And on this occasion, he produces that little bit of quality. Rodriguez give a little give and go. Niang, it's a sloppy little ball bouncing. Rodriguez just puts it into a good area. Alaba flicks off him. Kessie's arriving. He has that composure. Slot it. Rafinha can do absolutely nothing about it.
Juan Bernat was the last man on the line, and I think it almost goes under his foot here, doesn't it, as he stretches. But perhaps a deserved lead.
I think they've been the better side. We've seen a couple of glimpses from Munich, Lewandowski, a couple of opportunities. He's a seriously talented goalkeeper, which is why that clause was inserted in the contract. And I'm sure he's been very, very well paid after recent negotiations.
Had 3 or 4 stabs at clearing it, Milan, but didn't do a great job of that. That's more like it, and again they press hard. Rafinha back. Rafinha presumably hoping to get more game time now that the great Philipp Lahm has departed the stage.
He's had to be patient, very, very patient. That's the issue. Clubs with the wealth of options that Carlo Ancelotti has at his disposal. Players you only have to look at. Clearly could have slid in for that, and I think if that was a competitive game, you want to see the goal there.
Interesting, because there were 1 or 2 little signs of that in the first game. Well, I don't think it would have gone in off Hummels, but Freuchtel stretched out the arm anyway, and again Bayern just looking slightly off the pace here.
Yeah, they look all over the place at the back. Niang pulls the ball back into a good area. Hummels, and there was Catrone waiting for a tap in. Slightly fortunate Niang. He puts a good ball in. See Catrone, hands on his head.
Very, very high line here by Bayern. Rodriguez, space to be exploited, and they did so, and they've conceded again. Crotone scores, and Milan lead 2-0 against Bayern Munich here in the Longan Stadium.
Well, you mentioned the high line, and we've seen this creeping in to football over the last couple of years or so. Teams trying to be that little bit more aggressive, trying to catch the opposition offside, but they're clever. Montalivo feigns the first one. A look at the Munich defence. Distorted line. Cotone produces a magnificent header. Rodriguez puts it on the money, and there's no stopping that header. Very confident header by the young man. Super.
The 19-year-old, that is a special, special moment for him. His first goal for the Milan first team. Look what it means. Friedel across to Hummels. Well, it's nowhere near Mats Hummels' level, that. Here goes Niang. And Bayern are stretched again. Cotone. Niang, well played. On it goes here to Bonaventura. Brilliant goal. Milan lead 3. And Crotone's got his second.
Well, it all came from Mats Hummels. Terrible ball. Such a simple pass to find Rafinha. And Niang has been so bright, taking the game to Munich. What an impression this young man has made on the game. Super goal from a Milan point of view, and he skips past Rafinha, nutmegs Martinez. Look at the space. It's way too much space. It's a clever little give and go. The first touch ball by Niang, Bonaventura, and again 4 jerseys. From Munich point of view, it's just so easy. They've just looked on another level this first half. Trone heavily involved, did little give and go. Nobody picks him up. And Bonaventura puts the ball in. It's a relatively simple finish for the young man to get a second of the game.
Milan have come on this tour now under Chinese ownership to break new frontiers and win new friends, and this first half performance absolutely perfect in that respect.
I think you need to be very careful with that. I hear a lot about players coming back too soon, trying to get back into, I'm sure, that dangling of a carrot, going to the new club, just the eagerness to get involved, get to know your new teammates, management, make it those impressions. But it's a long, long season.
And the demands will be significant on Andre Silva. Well, let's face it, some of the greatest footballers ever have played up front for Milan. The main man up front, Lewandowski, frankly, looking nothing like his normal self for Bayern in that first half. Right down the spine of the team, no Manny Neuer, Mats Hummels not looking himself, and Lewandowski far from at his best. Very good impressions all round this Milan side. Here's the new man, Conti. Kessie threaded it forward again. Fruchtel, who came on for Bernat in that first half.
Speculative effort. Bonaventura never really catches it quite right. A lot of pressure by Martinez.
Barini gives chase. Steered out by Fruchtel to Alaba. Off the arm of Kessie. So energetic, isn't he? Gets across to people from midfield really quickly.
Really affects the game. He's a nuisance to play against. Closes down so quickly. Uses that strength and power, but then once he's in possession, he's so reliable.
Coolly done by Zapata, but he presented it. Bit too cool, really. Presented it to Lewandowski. Ran away from Lewandowski in the end.
Again, just an example of the lack of sharpness in the play. Good first touch, but Conte does well initially. Snuff it out.
Biglia sliding it forward. Andre Silva. Muller has the hit and Donnarumma turns it away. Comfortable save, really. There's a bit more purpose as they regathered the possession there by Bayern, and Muller had the hit.
More potency to the attack. Muller wraps his foot around it. It's a very comfortable save for Donnarumma.
Made his mark on the field for Milan. But every Milanese supporter watching all around the world, legions of them, enthused by the arrival of Bonucci, and he's about to step out onto the field for Milan for the first time.
That's a statement signing, Paul, isn't it? To be able to prize him from the champions of Italy. Such a magnificent, huge club, but clearly couldn't refuse the fee that was on offer. I think it'll be a massive signing for this Milan side and their huge evolution.
Alaba's cross. Which of the centre-backs is going to come off? They've both done well today, Musacchio and Zapata. Barini.
The ambition of this football club now is to challenge Juventus, qualify for the Champions League and go on from there. He has to find a consistency. I think he's a very, very talented player, but too often he drifts in and out of games.
Feeds Andre Silva with his first touch. Niang. Well, he's been good, and he is right on his game at the moment, Niang. Felt he could steer that in the corner.
Just tries to open his left foot up, tries to find that top corner.
Paletta sweeps it out. Çalhanoğlu. Antonelli. Bonucci. Back to him by Gomez. Alaba stepped up and they couldn't play forward as a result of that. Now Gomez. Çalhanoğlu has his arm in the air. Can't give him space on the edge of the box. Loves to hit these. And he does! And that, in a nutshell, is what this boy is all about.
It's so naive from Munich's point of view. I should know what this lad is capable of. Gomez does so well initially. To find them, the space he was allowed was ridiculous, it really was. He's been very good defensively, as we've already mentioned since he's come on, but you cannot back off him like that. Poor defending, really was. Once he drives inside, there was no doubt he was going to hit the target. It's a fine finish.
Just has that ability, Keith, to ping the ball on that right foot, and it's like a time almost up. Coman, easy for Bonucci. Milan win it back and come away with it. Sosa, well, anything like a decent ball, and Conte had a free run in.
Disappointing, wasn't it? There's a lot of space to hit there. Again, Christian Fruchtel sweeping up very, very well alive to that counter-attack by Milan.
David Alaba. Rodriguez back to him. Can he produce a cross? Well, is there anybody to hit with a cross? More to the point, the answer no. Has to come out again. Bayern finishing this game with lots and lots of ball, but very little clue what to do with it when they have it forward areas. I can't believe I'm actually saying that, but it's true, isn't it?
Staggering. And you can understand it a little bit last 15-20 minutes as fatigue really sets in. But it's been a running theme in both halves, in particular the first half, where they were very, very disappointing.
Over the top by Tolisso, over Paletta. May have been a little nick off Antonelli trying to head it. It's all academic, really. James Rodriguez looking to get them into a threatening position. Antonio Donnarumma clears it. Alaba. And that should see it through, and Milan have seen it through quite spectacularly here in the Longang Stadium. Legions of new supporters, Chinese owners looking on, surely very approvingly here, because